This week's podcast is on how to stick to everything as best you can while on vacation. The clear inspiration for this is I'm on vacation right now. So I'll just break down what I do to stick to things as best I can. Main thing is have fun, be on vacation, obviously. For me personally, I just go crazy when I can't work out. So wherever I go, I usually try to find gyms close by. I'll try to Google map them and look them up before I go. So I know where I'm going to go, what the prices are for their day pass or whatever. So let's start with just actually working out. You're not going to have your normal equipment. Some, like the bench press where I work out, you can actually adjust it like half inch by half inch, really small adjustments. So you unrack it at the perfect height. Most gyms don't have stuff like that. So you really have to, it can be a challenge to do your whole thing that you usually do at the gym that you're used to. Some of them, they're so low to your face that you practically have to bench it off the rack, which adds an extra rep, which can make things extra challenging, especially when you're going for a near maximal lift, right? When we do our 1 rep round, it can make things challenging. If you need to, drop the weights down a little bit. If it feels uncomfortable, I usually don't use a spotter. I put the guards up at my personal gym when I'm benching. But if you need to, I have no problem asking people that look like they're well-versed gym people, like, hey man, can I get a spot right here? And I'll tell them like, I can bench this. I'm going to go for one, but I'm not from here. And sometimes the bench just feel different or it just throws you off. Some of them even feel slippery, like you feel like going to slip right off the freaking bench. So it's okay to ask a spotter. It's okay to drop the weight down a little bit if you want. And if it's just a short trip and you decide to just not work out for 3 days or so, 4 days, however long you're going to be gone for, that's fine too. Just when you get back into the swing of things, make sure you're paying attention to yourself. Some people have been gone for a few days and they come back stronger. Their body maybe just needed 3 days off, and that's okay. I think a lot of it too is because people, if they're out vacationing somewhere where they're getting a lot of sun, getting a lot of vitamin D, that can help as well, just your overall function. Yeah, it can be fun exploring different gyms. I have a great time. Like I said, I always know what gym I'm going to go to. I look it up beforehand. I head there and my program is very different. So I almost have fun when people look at me like, did that guy just work his whole body out? Did he just do every lift really heavy at some point? And sometimes people ask about it. I love chatting with people about what they're doing, what I do. It's just fun. It's interesting. And it's cool to see different gyms out there and see what everybody else is doing. I went to a gym today. Everyone's doing a lot of highly functional stuff. Really lack of equipment, throwing kettlebells around, throwing bags around. It's cool to see. It looks like fun. So you got your gym, know where you're going to go, set aside some time to go do that and have fun with it. The other thing is your diet. I will go on vacation. I love being at home because I love my routine. I enjoy the food I eat. I know I'm going to have most days. And I love these lunches I make. I love my meal prep. I think all of it tastes amazing and it keeps me at a healthy weight. And I love that, right? Absolutely love how I feel, how I look in the mirror. All of it to me is just satisfying. And I feel good. I feel good being trim. I personally like that. When you're on vacation, there's a lot of places that I feel are maybe a little, I don't like to go to the real tourist spots. I don't like the gimmicky stuff. A lot of it is just the same old fried cheese sticks and buttered buns that they put on your burger and the burger cooked in butter, tons of cheese on everything. Avoid if you want to, unless you want to just let go for a few days, that's okay too. When you come back, the weight will come back off as you go back to your diet plan. So don't worry about it too much. But if you want to try to stick to something, I usually prefer to, I try to stick to anything where I can say like a Mexican restaurant and I can get beans, rice, chicken, avocado. Perfect. That's what I like. Stuff like that, or beans, rice, and some kind of leaner steak. That's great for me. I avoid cheeses, so I'll get whatever and I'll just say, hold the cheese on the beans and rice. I avoid fried food. Fried food to me just wreaks havoc on your body. Every now and then, especially if I've had a little wine or something, every now and then I'll have a little bit. I'll taste one. You can still enjoy it. But just for me, I pretty much gain weight every time I go on vacation, at least a couple of pounds. But again, it comes back off, so it's not the end of the world. But if you want to try to stay on track, best to go for lower fat stuff. I said this before. I'm not ever saying try to go as low fat as possible. I'm just saying a lot of stuff is really high in fats. And if you want to go with like the recommended guidelines by nutritionists, maybe around like 20 to 35% of your diet. I go about 30% of my diet comes from dietary fats. You want to go at least 1-to-2 ratio. So 2 being protein and 1 being fat. For every 1 gram of fat, there's 2 grams of protein. Okay. Maybe 3 grams of protein for every 1 gram of fat. I do the same thing with carbohydrates. So try to go for roughly like a 1-to-2 ratio, 2 being the protein, 1 being fat. Again, 3-to-1 is okay. That's fine too. That might make your fat kind of on the lower end, your dietary fat. And it also, of course, depends on how many carbohydrates are in there. But I like stuff that's not fried. I like stuff that seems like it was cooked, maybe baked, or like rice steamed is totally fine. So I go for stuff like that as much as possible when I'm on vacation. But like today, for instance, we were at some little cafe. I got some sweet potatoes. I figured they're probably pretty good. I got a chicken sandwich thing, and I'm thinking it probably has some homemade bread. It was more of almost a croissant style, probably super, super fattening. And it came and I didn't finish the whole croissant, but I had some of it. You're on vacation. Have fun. Again, don't worry about it too much. Those are just some tips to keeping it lower fat and avoiding fried stuff, avoiding desserts. Have some, of course, but just to stay on track, if that's your goal, that's the things you want to avoid. Okay. But even if I go for a couple of weeks, I've gained like 8 pounds before. I am so excited to get back home and get back on track because I just like feeling lean. But so it comes back off. You get back to your normal routine, get back to your usual habits that if you eat these things, you'll go down to this weight. You just get back on track. It falls right off or it comes off eventually, but don't worry about it too much. But those are some tips just to help you with your workout. Just have fun exploring with the dietary stuff. If you want to stay on track, again, if you don't want to work out and you don't want to worry about the dietary stuff, don't. Go for a while and then see how you feel when you come back as far as like working out, maybe drop your numbers down a little bit. If you have to take the first day back easy. But if you only took 3 or 4 days off, then a lot of people, again, when they come back, are almost stronger. Sometimes they get to the workout easier because you have all those reserves of eating foods. Your body is wholly ready to go. And that could be a way to go too. So, hope that helps. Hope you all, when you go on vacations, enjoy them as I always do. Till next time. See you guys.